Burglar's family awarded $300,000 wrongful death suit. Basically, what happened is these guys, it was a used car lot or something along those lines, and there was a string of robberies surrounding and these incidents, and they had a few incidents prior to this particular incident, and I think it was a 20-year-old perhaps, and another one of his friends jumped the fence, and one of them had some knives on him. But to make a long story short, they were in there fiddling around trying to steal stuff, and they ended up getting shot by these people who owned the property and own all this stuff. And then the jury awarded the criminals, the thieves who were shot. Well, I think one of them was shot and died, who had a 3-year-old daughter. That family, the daughter basically was awarded $300,000. And it was $269,500. And they try to paint. I guess the prosecution tried to paint these guys as vigilantes and all this stuff for defending their own property.
Well, what a crazy idea, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like they said, well, you can't do that in Colorado unless you have a certain degree of knowledge or I don't know, legitimacy in feeling that these people pose a actual life threat. Which it's like it's in the dark. You have no idea what these people have on them. There's people jumping your fence, scrambling around doing stuff. You have no idea. I don't know how I'd react to such a situation. I'd certainly be hairs back of my neck standing up. I don't know if they have a gun. I don't know what they have. I'm not sure. I would loathe to ever shoot another person. I would hope that I would never have to do that. Even if I was robbed, I'd like to think I could just brandish the weapon and they go away, or if I absolutely have to, maybe shoot them in the leg or something.
Right.
But when it's a crazy situation, it's dark, you don't know what's going on, your life could easily be in danger. I mean, it's difficult to feel any sympathy for the 20-year-old who jumped the fence and was doing all this stuff. I mean, what do you expect to happen, really? I don't know, man. It's effed up. Maybe if the Federal Reserve didn't make the economy so shitty, they wouldn't be rooting around in used car lots for stolen things. China offered Gaddafi huge stockpiles of arms, Libyan memos. You seem to know a lot more about the Libyan thing than I do. Have you been following that or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
here and there. Are we in a proxy war with China right now? What's going on?
I don't know about that, but
because we're backing the quote unquote rebels, where by we're I mean the U.S. government,
right?
And China's offering what did that title say? Offering huge stockpiles of weapons to Gaddafi, and I read another article talking about how much vested interest China has in Gaddafi, because they've all got all kinds of deals going on. But I guess the U.S. empire doesn't like Gaddafi.
No. Well, at least not anymore. I mean, they did.
Right, they did.
They did, but not anymore.
For some reason, not anymore. Interestingly enough, I saw a link on Lou Rockwell talking about, the whole Tunisia and the Egypt protests and all that, how those were, like, legitimate, like, actual...
natural, like, upright.
Roots, yeah. Sorts of things, grassroots. But the Libyan thing had all the telltale signs, what this report said, all the telltale signs of Western backing. Basically capitalizing, the Western powers capitalizing off of these other revolutions to make it seem like it was just another revolution. And then when the Fed had to release their numbers on all the the bailout money, or all the quantitative easing money or whatever it was, how I think it was 6 or 7 billion went to the Libyan central bank. And so there's another little interesting tidbit of information in how this is all just regime change was desired. It was an opportune moment, so let's funnel some money in there and make it happen, basically.
Right.
You were talking earlier about Al-Qaeda being in there.
Yeah, I think they got... I don't know details, but pretty sure number 2 guy or, some of the rebels... Pretty sure we're just opening way. We get Gaddafi out, but we're going to have some Al-Qaeda... The bad guys are going to,
take the good Al-Qaeda?
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, I don't...
You see, Mike, there's good Al-Qaeda and there's bad Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, it's all I know, it's just a label to us over here. I don't there's no...
A vague label.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
I don't know the personalities behind these organizations. I don't know.
we were talking earlier about how it's funny. You got Pakistan, who has nukes, who was also aiding and abetting the most notorious boogeyman of them all, Osama bin Laden. Yet, nothing, no real animosity.
Yeah, we should be bombing them
right
yesterday.
Right, exactly. But Iran, who does not yet have a nuke,
yeah,
but they're working towards one. And Ahmadinejad said he wanted to wipe Israel off the base, and all these things, just blowing all that way out of proportion, making him seem like the next Hitler. It's just how amazing. It's amazing the degree of control which is still afforded by blowing things out of proportion through the media and by making this guy seem like the demon, but this guy is the good guy, and it's just amazing.
Yeah,
it doesn't make none of it makes any sense.
I mean, if CNN tells people that Gaddafi's the bad guy and they ignore the Pakistan issue, then Joe Schmo's not out on the internet, researching for himself. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know about any of this. It's all, none of it makes sense.
No, on no level. So now we're friends with Al Qaeda in Pakistan.
I guess, or
in Libya. But
that, or we just gonna look clueless, like, whoops. I guess that accidentally happened.
Yeah. Right.
Somehow that got overlooked. I don't know. It's gonna slip through the cracks.
And why we went into Libya and why didn't we go into Yemen? Why didn't we go into all these other experiencing allegedly the same things, but Libya was of interest somehow? I've been reading actually a lot of articles on the Pentagon coming out. Oh, China's a threat. China's a threat. This, that, and the other. I'm thinking we're headed for another Cold War with China.
I'm sure.
Maybe a hot war. I hope.
Make money. Yeah. Make money for select individual. I mean, that'd be a cash cow for
absolutely
for a select few
state, for sure. And yeah, Smedley Butler, time and time again, saying war is really nothing more than just a few tiny select group of people making a shitload of money and getting rich off of it, while a huge other number of people lose an incredible amount through the torture and the death and the suicide.
Yeah, death tolls. I mean,
it's just unbelievable. Oh, here's a gem.
WikiLeaks.
Iraqi children, U.S. raid shot in head. U.S. diplomatic cable made public by WikiLeaks suggests that U.S. troops executed at least 10 Iraqi civilians, including a woman in her 70s, a 5-month-old infant. How do you shoot how do you execute I mean, that's not even anyway, a 5-month-old infant, then called in an airstrike to destroy the evidence during a controversial 2006 incident in the central Iraqi town of Ishaki.
I just shake my head. I don't know. That's pretty fucked up. I don't put it past him. It's not actually that mean. It's surprising a human could do that, but it doesn't surprise me that, I don't know, somebody from our army could do it.
Not at all. What do some figures say? Over 1 million now between Iraq, Afghanistan, Western Pakistan, Yemen, Somalia, Libya.
I think there's been any flags at half staff for their people?
Oh, of course not.
No.
The religion does not endorse foreigners.
But 3,000 people allegedly die in a tall tower, and holy fuck.
What 1 million people, how many 9/11s is that?
Yeah.
But they hate us because our freedoms. And
bust out the calculator.
I mean, again, none of it makes any sense. And it's all conditioning. We've talked about this so many times, how if you actually analyze this like we're doing, and everybody listening understands this, it's so beyond outrageous. It's totally absurd. None of the propaganda makes any sense. I might be fooled by it if I was 6 years old, but it's just through conditioning. There's no reasoning behind it. These people are conditioned. They have their lives to live, and they don't pay attention, they don't question, and it's amazing how, and in fact, intelligent, people who are surgeons, people who are dentists, people who are lawyers, people who are this, that, and the other, people who are in other fields very intelligent and competent. When it comes to this, it's like the blinders are on.
Nope.
It's a religion, and it's just it's
like,
total blindness.
When I was in school, it's executive branch, judicial branch, and legislative, and we got these 3 branches of government, and we got checks and balances, and it all works in harmony. These guys they all mean well.
There's a few bad apples, but
but isolated incidents, and it's just
power doesn't drive people insane. No. Unbelievable. Do we have anything else? Oh, yeah, this is what we wanted to talk about from the last one. The one we said we were going to bring up again. Back on the lemonade stand thing, on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Christ.
Finish on a little bit of positive section.
This is from Life magazine in 1947. This is the picture, which, I don't know, I just thought it was a weird little provocative stance they had on them.
Yeah,
those are the bathing suits of the day, I believe.
Hey there, big boy.
Yeah. He's selling more than lemonade behind that stand. Okay,
the lemonade's a front.
This is actually the original DynCorp here, 1947.
Happy endings behind the wooden plank.
Run errands, mow lawns, mind babies.
Mind babies.
Gotta mind those babies. The babies need some minding. But I thought it was interesting, really, and this will be a good note to end on before we go into the cop section. With all the Keynesianism that we're drowned in today, it's called Captain of Industry, and what it says, Butch wants a bicycle, goes on about how he wants a bicycle. Excuse me. There are many names for Butch's philosophy, and Mike, I want you to tell me which one of these doesn't fit, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
There are many names for Butch's philosophy. You can call it free enterprise, opportunity, democracy, or capitalism.
Yeah, I'm not sure what democracy's doing in there, but
I don't know. But whatever the name, America owes it much. For our most valuable natural resource lies in the ambition and initiative of Americans like Bush. It's interesting how, attributing the alleged greatness of America to people working hard and earning their keep and risking their fortunes and that sort of thing, which is, I guess, is supposed to be part of the American tradition.
Right.
Instead of today, which the constant worship by the media of the greatness of the government and how these people do it. I mean, it's a polar opposite. As great publications have grown from the dreams of young men with old hand presses, blah, blah, blah. They talk about the electric industry. A few men with vision strung the first short lines. People with faith risk their savings. Imagine that. You have to have savings before you can have investment and production. So stuff just doesn't come out of nowhere. Okay. Better and better service at lower and lower cost. Created more and more jobs. Wait a minute.
Job creation.
That doesn't come from the government? Okay. And carried the benefits of electric living to more and more people. Free enterprise and hard work will bring Butch his bike together. They are what built America and the American way of life. No nation on earth has found a satisfactory substitute for that combination. Now, interesting to see how today all we see is Keynesianism is consumer spending. Got to spend, or else the economy's going under. Quick, Christmas is coming. Pay up. Got to buy those presents. Got to buy this thing. And they measure the wellness of the economy by how much people spend at Christmas.
Makes sense.
Right.
Tons of sense.
Instead of savings and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying America back then was that much better. It wasn't, but maybe on the surface it was at least. I don't know. Maybe the federal government was still growing at that part, and it was a little. Wasn't as obnoxious.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was still totally obnoxious.
Hadn't reached out of control yet. Maybe it did. I don't know. I didn't live back there.
I don't know. Yeah, not as bad as who knows. I don't know. But what do you say? Next section?
Yeah, so take another break, and what do we got coming up next?
Well, your favorite section.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. We got the cop section coming up next. If you've lasted this long, thanks for staying with us, and we'll be right back with the cop section. Stay tuned.